Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Spiritual Successor, a comedy video game design podcast where we take your horrible, nasty, cursed, stinky, accursed, bad video game ideas and turn them into the next AAA titles. I am one of your hosts, AJ Hart.
And I am your other internet-friendly, potentially millionaire host, Blake Rea. AJ, I did some numbers before we were recording. I wasted 15 minutes of your time while you listened to me.
And you were laughing maniacally. I assumed you were looking at our returns, our financial revenue, our big bucks, and you're going to tell me how much money we've made, yeah? Give us the money details, Mr. Money Blake Rea.
This does relate to the income that you and I have, but I want to use it for something fucking stupid. So you and I need to paint a picture of our timeline. It is 7 a.m. AJ and I have to record early because big things are happening. I'm going to be going out of town for a little bit.
And it's a work day. I have to go do my day job after this.
That's, it's not as cool. I'm kidding. So AJ and I got up, and the first thing we talk about, as any, two best friends, close friends do, we talked about e-girls.
No, we talked about monster trucks. You couldn't get your brain off of e-girls.
Hold on. Okay,
it was fucking 6 a.m. and you're like, good morning, time to look at girl tootie. And I was like, come on, dude.
No, it wasn't that bad. No, it's just like, you were talking about monster trucks and I was talking about e-girls. So that got me, that just like, as our conversation evolved, we started talking about VTubers. And I got curious of like, you know what? What if I became a VTuber? What if this is building on, what I was talking about, potential millionaire here, because I'm gonna get people thirsty on Twitch. You know why, AJ? Because you gave me the most brilliant fucking idea. I am gonna become a VTuber. I am gonna be an owl that has a scarf, those really nice, like, those like round circle, like, hey, I'm intelligent but also sexy glasses. And you gave the best idea. I'm going to have in my little bird hand a cup of coffee that's always piping hot. And I'm going to be a VTuber. So this is where the numbers come in, AJ.
Tell me about the numbers. Tell me where the revenue comes in.
I did the research. So for the Spiritual Successor Patreon, to be successful enough for me to afford a fully rigged up VTuber that's like fully designed and fully rigged out, they cost $3,000, by the way. That's fucking insane. So here's the thing.
You know what? It only costs $3,000 for a good one. You know what I mean? Like, I could make you one myself.
Well, what's so funny? The site I'm looking at, it's like $100 to $3,000. And I'm like, what the fuck is a VTuber rig that is $100? That's got to look like some MS Paint ass shit for $100.
It's just a fucking JPEG, bud. It's a JPEG with a little mouth cut out, so you look like the annoying orange.
No, it moves like the early South Park episodes where people just like were shifted up and down when they talked. So $3,000 for a VTuber rig.
Because we're gonna get you the highest end quality VTuber model out there. I want every single feather to ruffle when you get angry at games.
And like when I get angry, my feathers fluff up because like birds do this poof thing when they're excited.
I want it to be so detailed that I want you to have a little like launch pad on the side, and when you press the different launch pad, you do different transformations like a Digimon. Like
fucking
you're
sweet.
You're like, I'm playing a shooter, and so you hit the shooter button, and then like you get a cool Dead Space helmet on, and the little eye slits open up so you can still see your glasses out of the owl helmet.
AJ, I respect your ideas here, but this is not about looking cool. This is about looking sexy. So might I pitch you on this? Like one of those things
rewind. You want to be a sexy owl VTuber?
Yeah, dude. What the fuck else is VTubing for? Comedy? No, it's about being sexy, dude. So might I pitch you on
name
this?
Me 3 sexy VTubers right now. Because when I think of VTubers, I only think of the little shark kid.
I used to know a couple. We know Joy. Like Joy's VTuber's like cute, but I'm like, okay, now I'm pigeonholed into a thing. No, I don't.
Now I painted you into a corner, idiot. I got you.
Okay, AJ, you're destroying the illusion of the dumb bit that I'm crafting here.
Sorry,
okay?
Yeah, you were laughing for like fucking 20 minutes about numbers. So can you run me through the numbers some more?
hold on.
How long would it take for me to
before
financially?
Before I give you the numbers, I want to give you one like image of this this VTuber bit, because I want to spice it up. I want to do the sell, because this is also like inadvertently an ad for our Patreon.
Don't like to think about how that's going to affect my personal income,
was not intended as
okay.
that, but I just thought it would be funny. So I have that effects pad, right? You know what's like super big right now is like dudes with big bara titties, and like when they flex, like a button breaks. Every button I press like pops a button off of my collar, or like off of my beautiful fucking like owl flannel.
And that happens when you get furled up from gamer rage.
Yeah. So it's like I get that little tuft of like fur that's coming out of like my top button, you know, like just.
I'm familiar. I have a hairy chest.
So here's the numbers. So it's about $3,000 to get a really good rig. Good news. Our Patreon actually got us the majority of the way. So $3,000 minus $73 is $2,927. So
yeah, that is most of the. Hey, actually, yeah, that's most of the hard work done. Like, really, if you think about it, it's the first $100 that it's what they always say in financial advice. It's the first $700 that really gets you.
So $2,927 divided by 2, because on average, I was looking at our. This is the extra bit of clickety clanking you heard me do. I had to go to our Patreon and see. Okay, how many patrons do we usually get a month? We kind of gain one and lose one on average a month, AJ. So we're kind of
it's kind of a revolving door of financially speaking.
So for my imaginary math, I have made the assumption that we gain a new Patreon member every. Actually, wait, I did this math completely wrong.
No, shut the fuck up. You did not laugh on a phone call with me, giggling to yourself for 15 goddamn minutes just to come on air and be like, oops, I did it wrong. Fucking commit to your math.
No, I did it wrong because it's going to be so wrong, AJ. So
I hate you so much. You were so proud. You were like, AJ, make sure you guess me up in the intro because it's going to be super good and numbers are so funny. And I did it so good. You're going to be so proud of me, AJ. I finally did math right. And now you're going to fucking blow it like this? We're too far into this bit to abandon it. I absolutely refuse to sit here and listen to you giggle to yourself while you do math for another 40 minutes.
No, hold on.
We have to do our fucking podcast.
I fixed it. So let me give you my original math because it's really funny how I fucked this up. So I did my division of $2,927.
I knew it. I knew you were struggling with long division. I
divided it by 2, which is incorrect because we make more than $2 a month. I pictured it as like, oh yeah, it's the new patron a month that's gonna pay for this VTuber thing. So my math came out to 2,927 divided by 2 is 1,463 months, which is 121 years. But
so assuming that we only make $2 on Patreon a month,
it's 121 years. And by then, our brains will be in the cloud, and we'll be juiced someday. So I redid my math.
We'll all be VTubers by then.
So I did the proper math of dividing 2,000 whatever by 73 whatever, and that turned into 3.5 years. So AJ, you and I have a goal. 3.5 years from now, we're gonna have SUCCtubers. You and I.
No, you're going to have a SUCCtuber.
No, AJ,
it sounds like
hold
all
on.
the money is going towards you.
AJ, I just had a brilliant $1 million idea. Okay, so we extend this deadline. Instead of 3.5 years, we just round it up to 7. Both of us get VTubers. Spiritual Successor becomes a VTuber podcast. You know why? Because fucking video podcast content is huge on YouTube. Let's get ahead of the game.
I have to believe because of all the stand-up comedians that do it.
Let's get ahead of the game, AJ. And we're gonna do a fucking video podcast, but you and I are sexy VTubers. Tell me
You're proposing getting ahead of the game in the same way that fucking Facebook is like, check it out. Our meta workspace. We're getting ahead of the game. And it's like, hey, bud, VR chat is already here. I can do all of your stupid workplace things, except I'm hanging out with Celty the Doulahan from Durarara and Sonic the Hedgehog.
AJ, why you got to stop on my dreams? I'm sitting here and I'm trying to make this company
You're
successful.
the one that fucked up your math after laughing and being so proud of it.
Hey, AJ, you picked me. You chose me. You fucking picked me to be part of this company. So you know what? You're stuck with it.
Blake, I'm going to need you to stick to your department. Don't do numbers. No more numbers out of you.
What's my department? What do I do? Like, what do we do on this podcast?
What you do, Blake, is you make bad video games from horrible submissions on the internet. I talked about it already at the top of the episode, but I guess a refresher wouldn't be too bad.
All right,
we take horrible, nasty video game ideas from all over the internet, and then we turn them into the next AAA titles.
All right, can you give me that Can you give me that statement again? But like more passion, like more. Just fucking, dude, hit me again with that. But not like you've said it 120 times.
We take your horrible, nasty, dirty video game ideas and turn them into the next AAA titles.
Damn. Bro. Getting me all
So
hot
do you want to do
bothered.
that for me? Do you want to hit me with a video game idea?
Sure. I was just going to say you're giving me the vapors, dude. Like you're one step closer. Like you already The vapors, yeah. Have you never heard that before?
No, but it makes me imagine somebody just getting blown on with a vape cloud.
I do declare I have the vapors. This one comes to us.
Okay, but like somebody, you know how like people who vape, they'll like inhale and then they'll do that big deep voice because they're trying to talk while holding their voice in. They'd be like,
yeah, they're doing that. I'm holding the smoke because I want it to simmer. Yeah, I just want that vape to simmer. Cheers to every one of our listeners who vapes. This one comes to us.
Not even to the listeners. Cheers to everyone that vapes. Keep at it. It looks super cool.
This one comes to us on Twitter from Caleb Personal Pan. Martin, is this a Theus? You're trapped in a room, and the only way to escape is to order things online to aid you. So, Presentable Liberty kind of operates off of this same thing. Presentable Liberty, Little Inferno, they all kind of operate on this. But I want to do a thing where, okay, the way I pictured this is we have Zamazon. Like that's the company we're ordering.
That's
from.
Our internet business.
Wait, hold on. Wait,
deliver from.
I'm fucking onto this. Hold on. I'm onto this because I just watched Wall-E last night and it has like a very Amazon bro, if we are not careful, Amazon will become by and large from Wall-E. And that alarms the shit out of me. So
it's a good name though. It's a better name than Amazon.
So this is a game that is in a dystopian future where everybody orders from Zamazon. Like this,
more like next week. Am I right? Sorry, continue.
So this is a future where everybody has to order from Zamazon. So I'm wondering if you can do some sort of game that is about ordering thing, and maybe Amazon's like you have to live, work, and order from home. You never leave your home. So this is a game about escaping your own ass house by ordering non-conspicuous things through Zamazon. And then after you escape this room, then the world opens up and maybe it just becomes like, it'd be kind of cool to, well, no, because how do you...
Let's focus on this thing before you start spiraling out of control.
You're right.
Escape room where you are able to order things off the internet.
So, but they're like, I wonder... But
hey,
you know how Amazon...
Hey, Blake, I love you so much. I do need to ask you one big important question. If you're locked in your room, how do you get the deliveries?
They have a little chute, like a cat door, but for packages.
Oh, I'm going to just climb out the cat door then.
Yeah, so it's... I mean, you're not nimble. Okay, maybe the way they do it is...
You're not. I'm built different.
Well, no, maybe
I'm going to dislocate all of my bones and then climb through like an octopus.
Octopuses don't have bones. They don't dislocate their bones. So no, you know, like when you go to a bank and you have to give them, usually when they get like a bag from Garda or something, they have that section on the far side of the bank where it's like it's the big thick glass where there's like a or it's like a case that has a door on each side. So like the guard a person opens one side, puts the bag in, closes the door, and then the bank teller on the other side of the bulletproof glass opens their side and then takes the bag. Maybe that's how our game operates. It's like that way it feels more like a prison, because this is a game about escape. This is a game about fucking getting out of your humdrum bullshit life in this 6x6 like Amazon wait, what is it called? Amazon Essentials. Everything in your house is Amazon Essentials. It is just like, it's all white, it's all bleak, it's all just uncomfortable. But you have
a locked out room where like you're only able to order like kitchen appliances or like spatulas, and you try to disassemble the doors.
And yes, and here's the leveling up process of this, because like AJ, you might be thinking, okay, if it's Amazon, you can order whatever you want and whenever you want. Doesn't work that way in this game. So Amazon has this thing where there's like, for those that don't know, Amazon has this thing where you have your Amazon base, and then you have Amazon Prime, and then you have like Amazon like Silver, I think, which is like a step above that, and you get a credit card and whatever. So as you spend more through the game, you unlock different memberships which give you access to different things. And I'm wondering if there is some sort of randomized element, like there is, like, I just ordered something from Amazon because I couldn't get it anywhere else. It's sold out. Normally I don't buy from Amazon. These dry brushes, but I just found out my mail got fucking lost. Well, so I'm out like $30. So it's like, what if that is an element in this game? You are buying escape things that sometimes don't arrive, or they get lost, and then you need to improvise. So there are multiple tools to solve multiple things. So
then it's just a matter of can the players Google what we thought about? If said that the spatula is used to get to break the window, can the player think like me and think, of course, the spatula is to pry open the window?
Maybe we're thinking too small. So the way I want this to evolve is because, and by the way, I don't know how we didn't. Maybe it was because I was talking about dumb VTuber things for like 20 minutes. You and I are both playing Inscription right now. Fucking incredible game. Incredible game. I don't want to go into too much detail.
We legally are not allowed to. If we talk about it at all and spoil where that game goes, I will be honor bound to hunt us both down like dogs and kill us.
Well, okay, there's one thing I do want to mention, and it's not going to be spoilery. It
better be something that you can do within the first 20 minutes of the game. That's all you're allowed to talk about.
Okay, yeah. So it's, as you play the game, you find out it opens up in a way that you didn't expect. Not like a major change, but the area that you spawn in, you can start exploring, and there are little things to find in that area. Mm-hmm. And so,
because you're playing the game at a table in a cottage, and you can stand up from the table and walk around the cottage, and there's all sorts of little mini games or hidden items that you could find, puzzles. There's a puzzle that you solved that I never found out how to, and also there's a puzzle that I'm curious if you ever solved, because I know there was something up with it. Did you do anything with the candles in the back of the room?
Yeah, they gave. The more you and I talk, let's talk about this off mic, because I really don't want to spoil it. Like, I am a firm believer that games, it's not about like the endings or finding out the twists and stuff. It's just about like kind of the journey of getting there.
It's about the surprises.
This game is so much about like the journey and the fucking surprises it throws at you. And I'm not even done beating it. I am getting so much more out of this game than I ever thought I would. And it's a $20 game. It's incredible.
You managed your first clear of the game, which is when it really opens up.
Yes. I loved it. But fuck that. We're not talking about that. What I'm getting at here is that I want this apartment to operate in a similar way. Is that there are a bunch of little things that you are discovering about your apartment. Like, you discover there's a surveillance system that needs to be taken care of. You discover, a la The Promised Neverland, there's a tracker in your neck, and you need to figure out okay, what can I order and what can I combine to get rid of it?
What can I order online to carve this out of my own neck?
You just get like aluminum foil and you just wrap it around. So it's just a bunch of like each level or each like evolution is you solving puzzles over the game. But I'm wondering if
So it's just a bunch of browser puzzles, right? It's one of those games where you're digging around on the internet and you're looking at things that you can order, and then you're just sitting around killing time until your money fills up so that you can order that thing.
Oh my God. So I wonder, like, that's something I didn't even think about. Is there a job that you have to do that's like a mini game or something? So it's like you have to
pull out of the dystopia of the real world to like emulate something horrible that happens.
You have to mine.
Well,
you have to mine bit. You have to literally mine
is an option. So let me talk about the nugget really quick. And this was something I heard about just recently, thanks to Waypoint Radio. Apparently, there's this game called Axiomon or something like that. It's a really bad Pokemon clone, but the idea is that as you play that game, you can earn actual Bitcoin. Like you're earning a Bitcoin currency, and you can then turn that into real money. Is it actual Bitcoin, or is it like Axiomon coin? I think it's Axio coin or Ether. Aether. I don't know anything about Bitcoin. I do know that this is a real thing that I guess is pretty big in the Philippines. Because it is a revenue source for them. Again, Waypoint Radio just did an interesting episode that talked a little bit about this. We could create something where in-game you can hop over to your computer and play Minecraft, or like a really shitty bad version of Minecraft.
You're onto something.
Generate money, which you can then turn into Amazon bucks.
Yeah. So, okay, you know what? That you're onto something there, where it's like a very just basic version of Minecraft, but it's not necessarily about the crafting. It's just a mining game. Like, why don't we just you are a spelunker basically, and you're just going through various levels, and the diamonds of this game are actual mineable things that turn into currency. So I'm wondering if, like, would this game actually work better as a VR experience? Be that way you can actually physically stand up.
Yes.
Well, no, like,
what I
think
love
of, like,
about
the
this is
immersion.
like, it is a VR game where you are sitting down to play on a computer. Like
yes.
You are putting on your VR headset so that you can sit down and play at a monitor.
Yes, and then when you stand up, you actually can then start moving around your apartment. You can go pick up packages. You can open things up, and that package ripping noise, it's got to be fucking satisfying.
You know what I love about this? We can also sell new proprietary software to track a chair so that our players don't hurt themselves.
Well, dude, you know what's fucking insane? Speaking of like mining Bitcoin, so I went and had dinner with Dakota. He's a mutual buddy of ours. He works at an MCN. So he was telling me that there's this thing that YouTubers are doing now as a way of generating fucking extra income. So when there's a YouTuber, right, and they have their MCN and whatever, the YouTuber will then tell, like, what are the standard things? It's like, hey, go buy my merch. Hey, go support me on Patreon. They're like, hey, download this app, and it'll use your phone power in the background to mine cryptocurrency that will then be sent towards me and my MCN.
That sounds fake. Is that real?
That's real. Like, YouTubers tell their audience, hey, download this app, and you can give a little bit of your phone or computer power to then mine Bitcoin for me. That'll go to me. And it's like, they make upwards of like $10,000 a day. It's fucking insane. And that's what this game is going to do. Because when they are mining Bitcoin, guess what?
We're mining Bitcoin. Yeah, good call. For Amazon, of course. Blake Ray, why don't you hit me with another video game idea? This one makes me nervous because we've talked about two real world things that suck shit. And I feel like...
Hold on. Didn't I give you a game submission?
Oh, you did. Okay,
Mr.
let me hit you with
Hart?
one then.
All right, you hit me with one. How dare you shift it onto me? Also, I'm going to put a pin in that one.
I am not witty enough for a funny name at ARP1033. Ace Attorney, but you're the judge.
Ooh, so you're gonna watch two.
So you're in charge.
Guys, this is a courtroom. Why the fuck are the two of you hitting on each other? Why is the defense hitting on the prosecutor? And why is the prosecutor throwing nasty, dirty eyes at the defense? So
hey, prosecution, you are a judge. Could you stop staring so aggressively at the defense's ass?
You are a judge that has just two chaotic dudes.
Defense, I need you to stop stop biting your lip like that every time you yell objection, please?
So wait, hold on. Is this like a rhythm game in a way where it's like the moment you see somebody's tell, you have to you have to call them out on it or something? But actually, really quickly.
No, okay. Here's what I was originally imagining, because I don't know if it's our place to make.
That's true. I was just about to say is like, okay, is it wrong of us to make a game about hushing up gay people that are expressing themselves? Yeah, I think so.
Here's what I was going to propose.
I think there's some comedy in it, because the comedy of that. I think
you need to watch out for their unprofessional advances towards each other, because they will.
I think that's
but what
fair,
I want
and
to
I think
focus
that's funny.
more on is the idea of like, you played the judge, which means that every now and again, somebody's going to do something buck wild that you as the judge have to decide whether or not it can play. Like, if you're like, defense, call your next witness, and the defense is like, I'd like to fucking cross-examine the parakeet. You have to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Or like, and then you have to decide, hey, does that run? You know, you're doing your thing, you're doing your judging, you're making sure that the case is okay. The prosecution takes out a whip and just lashes the fucking witness. Is that allowed? Are we going to let that play too?
Let me ask you something. So Ace Attorney operates in its own unique fantasy court. But in real court, and I found this out.
In real court, a lot of that shit don't fly.
Well, you know what I found out doesn't fly in courts, and I was
totally shocked. Is it the fact that you are not, in fact, allowed to take out a whip and attack the other people at the courtroom?
No, that's totally allowed. Karma? No, that's totally allowed in 46 of the states. I don't know which 4 are backwards and don't allow whipping in the courtroom, but backward states.
It's probably the blue states on the coastline. Fucking snowflakes. It's not a real courtroom if I can't.
Washington.
It's not a real courtroom if I can't take out a registered weapon.
Fuck. All right. Okay. Hold on. Be careful. We're getting too real on that one. So what I'm getting at is, or what I was trying to say. I found this out because I did some reading on it, because there's a court case I've been following, and I've just been reading a lot on law these days. And did you know that you cannot present something in the courtroom that the defense or the prosecutor didn't know about beforehand?
Yeah, I've seen My Cousin Vinny, dude.
Oh, okay. Oh, there you go. So it's like, I didn't know that. Like, I just didn't know that. Like, I thought, because, like, you know, whenever you hear about, or whenever you see like a courtroom drama, they're like, and this is the piece of evidence that changes everything. And I'm like, and courtrooms do not operate like that, because it doesn't allow for like.
It's like, what if that shit's falsified? Like, you can't
it's falsified.
Bring something.
Yeah, so like, I guess what I'm getting at is this a game where people can present things on the fly, or do you have a packet that you get or a binder that you get at the beginning of the level that has all of the information that the defense and prosecutors have collected? So you have stuff to flip through to find out, okay, is this something I'm going to allow or not? Like, is the parakeet relevant to the conversation? Hey, then you go through and you see, like, when the detectives arrived on the scene at the murder scene, they could hear a parakeet squawking in the same room that was murdered, and they were saying something. Okay, let's hone in on that. So it's like, your binder doesn't give you all the answers. It just gives you, okay, what are the things to listen to, and what are the things not to listen to.
The prosecution and the defense will propose wild items that you then have to decide, like a logic puzzle, whether or not it's possible that it could be pertinent to the case.
Yes.
This rules, because this reminds me of, like, I think I've been playing Danganronpa, and every now and again, those games in the courtroom sessions require me to make some fucking buck wild jumps in logic.
What a wild. Okay, so that's what we need to do then, is like, it's about the cross-examination and figuring out, like, okay, the answer to all of these cases has got to be buck wild. So it's like, it's going to definitely be like, just like, actually, kangaroo court is like a term for you are a mistrial, right? Not a mistrial, but like an unfair trial, right?
I only know Kangaroo Court from that one Rick and Morty animation, but it's very funny and good.
I remember Kangaroo Court from the song, like that. Really, I forget who it was by, but like the music video was like him dressed as a zebra in a world that hated zebras. It makes a lot
more sense that guy in the Rick and Morty case, which was a real world case, was referencing something else.
Kangaroo Court by Capital Cities, by the way. Okay, so I want to pitch you on something else, by the way, because this court thing, I'm not going to disclose which court thing I've been following because I just don't want to get into that on the show. But
we all know what case you're talking about. I think
maybe?
conscious listeners know.
Maybe. I don't know. So the thing I'm noticing is that it's not just one lawyer. It's like a team of lawyers. So how we're going to add a little bit of spice to our game, and this is where we can get all that like nice homoerotic attention, is the defense people are always going to be the same, and then we can swap out like the prosecutors, all like Ace Attorney. Our defense team is I was going to say our defense team is
that's
Ace
another
Attorney.
wild thing. It's like, could you imagine being the judge
right.
when the judge on the case where like fucking Phoenix Wright is like, all right, I would like this 12-year-old girl to come up to the stands. He's like, okay, what does this have to do? And then like, or like you're the judge, you're like, why would you like this child to be there? I know that, and he's like, no, dude, trust. She's wearing a magic necklace. She's going to explode into light, and then a 30-year-old buxom woman's going to be standing there. And you have to look at this fucking man in a blue suit and a blast back. Just like, what are you...
So,
no? Like,
okay,
I don't think I'm going to let that one fly, actually.
So what if we did some sort of health system then? Where it's like when you, as the judge, make a bad decision, because I think that's how I've never played a Phoenix Wright game. I think you can make X amount of mistakes when you're doing a court
as
case.
I understand it, I assume it works like the Danganronpa things, and it's just that if you don't have like, if you have to get it right before the case moves forward. Like you'll propose something, and the judge will be like, "No, that's stupid and wrong, idiot," and then you just have to rewind like 10 minutes or something
okay.
like that.
So maybe as the judge, what if we, because this is of course if we have the infinite budget and the infinite time, right?
I think what happens in this game is when you make a mistake and the game would do like the soft
it affects the actual court.
You get a highly detailed cutscene where the judge kind of like is like, I don't think you should, and then you watch his eyes clench towards the jury, and all the jury's like, you should let it play, and there's like, I think that we will allow it.
So you brought up an interesting thing. Do you have to pick up on the facial expressions of the people in the courtroom?
Yes. Here's what I'm imagining. This isn't even like a visual novel in the same way that like the like Danganronpa or Ace Attorney is. I'm imagining something that is 3D animated. I want it to be done by, I think it's CyberConnect, the dev team that was in charge of the Naruto Ninja Store games and Asura's Wrath. I want that dev team to be doing functionally a QuickTime movie where we are doing cases, and I get to watch people's animations to make sure they're not lying. And also when I get to use the big gavel or use the gavel on the podium, it is 1, a QuickTime event, and 2, a really, 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 really big hammer.
Okay. So it's like
I know
that
I've thrown a lot at you all at once. Which thing would you like to specify on? Which would you like? Which angle of these would you like to look at in more detail?
I want to look at the hammer thing because you bring up an interesting thing of if this is a court where weird, crazy, zany shit is happening, our judge has to be weird. Actually, what's funnier is that our judge is the normal-ass character in a chaotic world, or they are a chaotic character in a chaotic world.
I think you're a normal guy in a chaotic world that has to politely ask the prosecution not to activate their laser eyes.
So, okay, I like that. So what is the overall, like, what's the game? Is it we are just... Because, like, Ace Attorney is like, yes, the game is you're going from court case to court case. Is it much of the same way? Like, where you have to, as the judge, like, talk to people?
You are the judge that runs, like, case to case. And I think that what the gameplay is people will... You're watching the court case run out, and then every now and again, the prosecution or the defense would be like, I'd like to propose X or Y. And you have to decide whether or not it is possible, is not possible, or will not be helpful to the case. You also need to be on the lookout for when your defense or prosecution acts up a little bit too much.
So you need to, like, settle it down. And I'm wondering if that could mean, I wonder if, like, you can, it'd be really good. So, okay. Another weird fucking fascination of mine. There's this one documentary channel on YouTube. I think they're called JCS. It stands for something much larger that I can't ever remember, like Jason Can't Swim or something like that. It is a YouTube channel dedicated to police interviews of like people that just got arrested for like plotting murder or like plotting like to or actually committing murder. And it's just
wild thing to be on a channel named after Jason Cannot Swim.
I know, right? That's the thing that's so fucking weird about it is I'm like, this guy I feel like went into YouTube to make a specific kind of content and then was like, nah, fuck that, I'm gonna make something completely different. So, and what I find fascinating about that is how he talks about how interrogators will increase the pressure and the tension in a room to make a person more liable to telling the truth or like to pulling that tension back so you can like get a conversation happening so they don't close down. So what if, as the judge, you have this meter that shows you the boiling point of the courtroom? So maybe you do no, stick with me. So maybe sometimes you do let that woman whip the defense because that increases the boiling point of the room. That, or it's like, hey, we're in the tipping point. I can't let the room boil over. I need to call out everything as it happens. Because and then that's all time event shit. So like when somebody said like has an exclamation mark above their head, you need to call it out because there's just a bunch of and you know what? It all happens in real time. That way, if you're down looking at your papers and looking at your binder or whatever, things can be still happening. Conversations can still be happening, and you're not looking at them. So you could mix an exclamation mark. But here's where the challenge comes in: is certain parts of the court case require the room to be at a certain point on the meter.
You need to have because like there are going to be moments where you're approaching the end of the court case, which means that you need to make sure your tension is up. It is the end of Legally Blonde. I cannot believe that the Legally Blonde woman's name is slipping me, but she's in her final speech. She's confronting the woman that we know to be the murderer or know that will about to be the murderer. She's about to catch her with the perm lie. You need to make sure that the tension is high. Because that reveal won't hit the same way if the crowd is not ready for it. But when it does hit, when Legally Blonde says, you couldn't have just been taking a shower because you had a perm recently. And then the defending lady admits to the murder and the crowd explodes. Everyone jumps into the air and cheers. Everyone's throwing their papers. That is when you, as the judge, your game truly begins. Now you have to enter the most difficult QuickTime event as you try to bring order to the courtroom once again. Oh,
so it's like you bring order to the court, and I like that because your meter like fucking just explodes. Like
you had your meter you were edging that meter so that she could get this through this speech, but now you have to ring it back in. You have to order the court again.
See what I like about the meter, because in a way it also represents confidence levels. Confidence in. Like, when the meter is low, everybody's kind of talking more casually, and I think that's a good environment for when you're talking to a witness that has kind of shut down. So, like, a witness is on the stand, right? And they need an environment where they feel like they can talk. If people are fucking whipping and shooting lasers at each other...
them the room.
Yeah, so that's just not the environment that they can work in. So then it's like, okay, that's great. You have that energy down.
So it's a vibe managing game. It's
basically,
a vibe managing game.
You are
and
a vibe
and a detective jumping game.
Yes, it's a vibe and logic game. Holy shit, did we just invent a new genre?
We invented a new genre. We got there. It took us a little bit to get there, but this is what's important.
All right, let me give you another game.
Okay.
I will give you one more game, and then we need to jump into our stuff. This one comes to us on Twitter from Dabby Indulgence at Skeleton Jock. A game where you put your bread in the freezer to keep it from going bad. Send tweet. I only brought that one up because you went on a rant about it like 2 episodes back.
You didn't see this is a friend of ours. You didn't see in the group chat. He went after me.
What, he did?
Yeah.
Oh, no, what did he say? Did he just be like, hey, I do that, don't fucking mock me?
Yeah, he proposed that it was a totally normal thing to put bread in the freezer, to which my one response is, motherfucker, if you have to put bread in the freezer, buy less bread.
Well, I mean, we put bread in the fridge. I just don't freeze it. Like
What
it
the fuck is it doing in the fridge? You know what? I'll leave it. I'll leave it.
Hold
I'll
on,
leave it.
hold
I'll
on. No,
leave
no,
it.
no, 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 no. That one makes sense because here's why. Here's why. One, it does
It's
make the
not
bread
in
last.
the fridge at the fucking grocery store, and that business
That's
needs to
because
know
you're
what to do with
supposed.
food.
No, AJ, that's because you're supposed to fucking buy it within a week at the store or it expires. You, when you're at home and you're fucking broke like me, you have to put that shit in the fridge because it does last a little bit longer. But this is where I draw the line at the freezer. You know why? Because when it defrosts, that bread becomes tasteless and chalky and disgusting. I am not a fan
stale,
of
right?
frozen
When
bread.
you unfreeze your bread, it's stale
it doesn't
and bad.
fucking
and
save
people will be
anything.
like, "Oh, it keeps your bread better." It's like, yeah, but when you eat it, it's not good. I can do plenty of y'all. You don't need to put your bread in the freezer for it to be bad and last long. Like I could just leave it on the counter and it'll be bad and not last as long.
So how about this? How about this? How about this? I want this to be because I pitched this as a joke, but now I'm having like actual game ideas.
Now we have to commit to it, huh?
So what if this is a cookie clicker game?
Hey,
that
really
is
quick,
all
did
about...
you say the name the right, or did you just say Dabby Indulgence?
Yeah, I did. Should I say the whole thing?
He did propose in our group chat again, and that he wanted to submit a game idea specifically to hear you say the P word. I'm looking at that name. That's something. I respect the dodge. Very tasteful of you.
Sorry. There's a gardener at my window, and he's just spraying water into my window, and I'm like,
and he's looking at you, and he's saying, "Say the word, Blake."
Okay. All right. That submission came from Dabby Pussy Indulgence at Skeleton
Whoa! He said it!
Oh, God. I don't know. I mean, it's just a word, but, like, at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if I feel comfortable saying that on a live recording. But I did.
Hey, Blake,
there
you and
go.
I say Dr. Pinor a lot on this podcast because of one of Dr. Pinor's one of our loving submitters.
Peener is not like saying, like, the C word. You know what I mean? It's not like saying...
It's not like saying cock?
It's not like saying cock. It's like, it's not as abrasive. You know what I mean? Why are we having this conversation? Can we talk about frozen bread again?
No, I'm done with frozen bread. I think I've made my peace with talking about frozen bread.
Okay.
It's bad.
Okay. So let's talk morality systems on our Patreon Discord. So what's our nug? And then
really quick.
Oh, so you want me to give you another one, or do you want to read one? You read one. You give me. I gave you two. You give me two. I gave you 1.5. You give me 1.5.
This comes from Turtle Lover 224 at Turtle Lover 21467462. Gritty reboot of 2003 game Diner Dash.
Oh my God. So
what does a gritty reboot of Diner Dash look like? What it is, and Blake, I think.
Some older guy lost his family, and now he's fucking shoot 'em up style going on a revenge tale. Like
you are
that dude.
An old
that's what
gritty dad, and
you're an
have
old
a daughter
gritty
that
dad.
you
Like
picked up off the streets because she needed a job, and so you are managing her while she diner dashes in your restaurant.
No. Flip the fucking lid on this thing. I am tired of dads fucking having adoptive daughters. I want
Blake,
this
it's
daughter.
a gritty game. You have to play as a bearded man. I'm not budging on that.
No, stick with me, because we're still gonna play as the gritty dad character. Don't you worry. But I want to flip the fucking script on this. So instead of like this grizzled man finding some kid on the street and then taking them in and becoming that dad father, we've seen that fucking story.
Are you about to hit me with the intern 2019 or 2016?
No. This is a successful woman with a successful dining business that takes in this grubby ass old man from the fucking street and gives him a job. So is this.
You just
pitched
the intern.
Is that the fucking intern? I've never seen it.
I believe it's about some like old as shit dude that's like, I'm old and I don't know how to work in the new world where people have scooters in their offices. And so he gets hired as an intern for a business. It's actually a very charming movie because it is just an old guy realizing that business is different nowadays. It manages to flip the script on old guy doesn't understand how things are done anymore.
but then like kind of goes into it and learns about the new world rather than
I think
just
that the
rejecting
girl
it
that he
outright.
was working the business for is his daughter. I'm not certain. Let me read the IMDb
Uh,
thing. Starting a new
what,
job can
whatever.
be a difficult challenge, especially when you're already tired. Looking to get back into the game, 70-year-old widower Ben Whitaker seizes the opportunity to become a senior intern at an online fashion site. Ben soon becomes popular with his younger coworkers, including Jules Austin, the boss and founder of the company. Whitaker's charm,
Aw.
wisdom, and sense of humor help him develop a special bond and growing friendship with Jules.
See, that's lovely and all, but that's not gritty, AJ. Like,
Yeah, we
I
want to
think
do
that's
Diner
special and
Dash
that's wonderful,
meets
and
the
I love the
intern,
idea
but
of like,
also meets God of War.
yeah. So you basically get hired by this Dinner Dash like company, and there's this woman that works there that's like obviously younger than you, but then she kind of takes you in as a father figure, or is like, I mean, in a weird way, she
A
becomes like
grandpa figure.
she becomes your grandma figure. Because
Yeah.
like I want to avoid that whole fucking weird. I want it to very obviously be like a father.
Yeah, it is a woman
like
taking
parent
care of an
relationship.
elderly parent. It is not a
Yes,
romantic
yes.
thing.
Yes, that's exactly what I want to do. But here's the
hey,
thing that
Blake,
happens.
what the
AJ,
fuck would we be doing with a romance story in a gritty game?
so no, but here's the thing,
Romance?
AJ.
Yuck. Gears of
is
War
where
has no romance. God of War has no romance. We're just here for the grit.
So here's where the shit hits the fan, AJ. This is a world like, you know, it'll be fun. This is a world like Beastars, so it's anthropomorphic animals.
All right, well
And
now everyone's going to be a little bit horny for it. You did this.
fine. Who gives a shit? That sells more copies. I don't care. So the grittiness that comes in is that there's this. The characters from Overcooked are like the local mafia, and they're trying to fucking like attack the Dinner Dash place. So this old man, he's a lion maybe, or like he's a coyote, because I think coyote, like old coyote, that's a fun
Oh
name.
yeah, an old coyote,
Yeah.
like an old scavenger type that's being given a new chance
Yeah,
by this
yeah.
loving and kind herbivore animal.
Holy shit, you just made the pitch. And a down on his luck older coyote.
Down on his luck, old coyote gets offered a job at this gazelle restaurant.
A Grizel's restaurant. But there's none of that, like, you know, like he wants to eat her energy like there is in Beastars, because that's just a little bit weird. But
Or is it kind of sexy if you think about it? I haven't read Beastars.
I don't know. I've seen like a couple things from Beastar. I've seen a couple things from it. I love the opening. Like the music is great. But this mafia of just a bunch of other predators and animals or whatever want to take over this Dinner Dash, and it becomes violent. And that's the gritty part of it. So this guy, this old coyote, has to take up John Wick style, goes into his basement and fucking just gets out like his gold-plated 1911s, and he has to shoot 'em up style defend.
You know what this reminds me
This
of?
Diner
It sort of
Dash.
reminds me of like. Do you remember? I think the second or third Kung Fu Panda movie. Po, the titular Kung Fu Panda, is using his cool Kung Fu Panda skills while serving patrons at his father's restaurant.
I think that was the second one, because like after the first movie, he like graduates and goes back to his life. I think
After
that's
he
how
becomes
the
the
second
Dragon
movie opens
Warrior,
up.
he goes back to
Yeah.
his full life.
Yeah, like that's how I think that's how the second movie opens up, if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong.
So you're proposing this coyote. What if John Wick was also a server at a restaurant? So you have to tactically go out and do all of your cool kung fu, and then you also have to do all of your food deliveries.
You know, it'd be kind of cool actually.
Wait,
that I think would be.
I know what this plays like.
What's up?
This
I was thinking
plays
like Max Payne, like
I'm
Max Payne
imagining-
or Sleeping Dogs.
I'm imagining a top-down game like Transistor.
Oh, interesting. Why
Did
that?
you ever play Transistor?
No, but I've seen gameplay footage of it.
Okay, so you understand that like the way that Transistor's combat works is you can sort of preload moves, and so it works like a tactics game. But when you activate a move, you're using all of the moves that you've preloaded into one slot.
So
you've
you have delivery
attached, like,
moves and you
dive-
have attack moves.
You have delivery moves and attack moves that you load up into a card. You then plan out your course of attack through the room. And on this one move, like run move, of like the patrons come in, vagabonds come in. You have to plan out what moves you're going to use. You run it. And so it's just like a little, it's like an instance-based tactics game where you are unlocking new moves and new foods to deliver and
See, I like this. I like this because there are very few things that I think are consistent about your and I's games. But one thing I think you and I love to lean into is duality games where there's like multiple games in one. And
but this
that's why I love
multiple games in
no,
one.
No,
this
no, no,
is
no, no, no,
one
stick with,
game.
stick with me, because this is about a gritty reboot, right? So as you start the game, you are taught like the tutorials and you're taught all the stuff of how to swap out cards, and you're given the basics of combat because this restaurant is in a pretty bad area where people will just come in and start fights and stuff like that. So you have to do this. You are basically a server / bodyguard for this restaurant. But as the story develops, you have to go to other locations. So it's like, hey, you have to go and walk around your house, and we like Katana Zero style. There's that level, like you get to go back to your house at the end of every day and you get to see the quality of it or the state that it's in. And then when things go bad and you find out that the mafia's in town, that's when you can finally turn the key to your basement and go down there. So like maybe it's like, well, because like maybe there's like that mystery at the beginning of the game.
Because you're an old coyote, you've got like old dentures down there that are fangs that you have to grab from the basement.
I need to put in my attack teeth. That's very Monsters Inc. I love that. That's great. So, but then what after that is like when she goes down, now you need to take all of the skill cards that you got at the delivery place, and now you need to clear out this warehouse. Like you found out like there is a meeting tonight where they are talking about how they're going to get
and there will be action levels where like you essentially are just turning your delivery cards into like you're grabbing weapons or you're grabbing bombs and moving them around the room.
Fucking like raid redemption style. Raid redemption where like everything around you is a weapon. So like you're in a warehouse, well you can pick anything up and throw it like you did all of the dishes. Like you can throw a dish onto somebody's table. So it's like it becomes this game of like improvised
it's a card tactics game that doubles between that you have the same cards at all times, but it doubles between Diner Dash card tactics or like Mafia Room card tactics.
Yes. Fucking yes. I am all about that. Okay. And you know what we fucking nickname?
What do we name?
Okay, hold on. I'm actually really in love with this game. I love fuck, dude. We made 3 good games. So we made our You're the Judge and Ace Attorney. We made we made the bread game. That one was a cookie clicker. We didn't really talk about it all that much. Then we made
we just dunked on freezing your bread some more. I think it's pretty clear that we are an anti-freezer bread podcast.
Anti-freezer. Put that on a sticker and sell it. We're anti-freezer bread. or a pin, like it's a political pin, anti-freezer bread.
Okay, so we have our cool John Wick Coyote Zootopia game. We have
Zamazon, the delivery game where you're in an escape room. I think I'm going to rule that one out. I had a lot of fun with it, but I don't necessarily know where we can go with that.
I feel like we've done a browser-based game recently.
Yeah, I don't... whatever. So what do you think? Do you want to be the judge or do you want to be Grizzled Diner Dash?
I like Grizzled Diner Dash.
I do too, because I love that character. I love the idea of an old coyote and like a young gazelle with dreams in her eyes of having the best dumpling restaurant in the world. Like that's her thing. She's just so fucking passionate about that. And this guy just just throwing dumplings at people's tables to serve them.
I got it. I know how we make them like thematically kind of fun and cute together. Like to make them appealing to look at. And you proposed the idea of like what if she's a red panda and he's a coyote? So they're both red colored.
Oh, AJ, coyotes aren't
They're like
red.
Orange.
No, foxes are orange, AJ.
Oh, right, they're different. Never mind.
Okay, hold on. What if we went with maybe he's a stoat? Like how adorable stoats are.
Like a stoat? Okay, so he's some sort of rat predator, like a stoat or a mink or something like that.
Oh my god, would that be funnier if that actually, hold on, we're onto something here. If he's smaller than her animal-wise. That way we don't get that weird energy of like he could attack and eat her whenever he wanted. So like a gazelles are actually red pandas are pretty big, aren't they?
They're like torso sized, I think.
Oh, okay. So a stoat is smaller than that. Actually, fuck, I think even a fox is smaller than that. I think Zootopia tricked us because they made like the rabbit character.
They made the rabbit
comparable.
so small. They made Judy Hopps so little, and
well,
but
they made
Nick
her
Wilde
bigger.
is also very small.
So I love the idea of a red panda and a red fox though, because they both have red in their name. And you know what you know what cute thing that they nickname each other? They call each other Red. Like they use the same nickname for each other.
They both call each other Red. That's very good.
Hey, Red. Oh my god, that's so fucking cute actually. Oh my god, that's so cute. I'm into it. I fucking adore that.
We need a name for this game.
Okay, here, let me pitch you on one. What's the name of the restaurant? Like that's what we should call it.
What is the name of the restaurant? Well, what do they serve here?
So red pandas eat? What? Red panda diet. So maybe they serve dumplings that are based off of the primary thing that they eat. Red pandas feed mainly on leaves and bamboo, but occasionally snack on fruit, insects, birds, eggs, and small lizards. AJ, it's a ramen shop because you know they put bamboo in ramen. It's a ramen shop.
Bamboo and ramen.
So do you call it?
Is bamboo shoots anything?
I was thinking red ramen, you know? Like, 'cause...
Red ramen. No, you're on it.
So we just beat the audience over the head with just the word red.
And of course, it reminds me of my favorite casual dining restaurant, Red Robin. So we're good. That's a win in my heart.
I didn't even think about that.
You didn't? That's exactly what I thought when you said Red Robin.
No, I didn't. I totally forgot about that. It's just Red Ramen. Okay.
So it's Red Ramen, the gritty John Wick Zootopia tactics card game.
So we need to talk about Patreon modifiers. So those that don't know, on our Patreon, if you join it $2 a month, you can join our private Discord where we do game nights and hang out and do a bunch of other stuff. But on top of that, you get access to early art and you can submit game modifiers where we can where we take from it. Sorry, I just saw one that was really funny. Where you can submit game modifiers that we then talk about at the end of the episode. Okay.
This one comes from Gazer. Gazer suggests crypto versus zoologist.
Crypto versus zoologist?
Yes.
So, okay, but
this is a morality system that you, as a little red fox, will get to choose whether or not your morality is leaning towards more of the tech nature of the future or the handmade zoologist natural-born power of manpower or animal power. And this is a morality system that can be chosen in how your restaurant is established and what sort of weapons and cards you will be selecting.
You know, okay, actually, wait, hold on. You're onto something here. You're onto something.
I know, I'm always onto something, bud.
So when you arrive at the restaurant, because you're gonna take the role of our red fox. You're gonna take on the role of Red while he advises Red about her restaurant. So at maybe like once a week or whatever, you are given a decision at the top of the restaurant of like Red, the gazelle, or sorry, the red panda comes up to you and it's like, hey, I'm thinking about I want to devise a system where I can make dumplings. Because one thing I think about, and this is going to be a small tangent, one thing I think about in a world like Zootopia is everybody's, like, humans have similar diets. We're all omnivores. We all can eat roughly the same thing, save for, like, dietary choices and allergies and shit like that. In a world like Zootopia, fucking different animals are allergic to so many different fucking things. So how do you take that
like
shit
I can't
into
give
account?
a dog grapes. It'll die.
Yeah. So, but you can, like, give grapes to a bird. Or actually, I think you can't give grapes to a bird.
Hold on,
check on Bentley.
wait. Do grapes just kill animals?
I think grapes. There's like something in them that is like poisonous. It's like chocolate. You can't give chocolate to birds either. They can't digest.
Can't give them to dogs either. I think chocolate just
actually
kills
it's the
animals.
oils. Yeah, I guess. So it's like, what if our red panda's like, I want to devise a better system for taking into account all of the different diets of all the different animals to generate a happier restaurant or a more diverse restaurant.
And then your
Should
morality
I go
choice is either A, do like
in-
market research, or B, ask your customers every time they come in what they want.
Yeah, what are you doing, like the friendly sort of energy, or are you doing like the high tech research? And I think the high tech research, and depending on what choices you get, that gives you different action cards, like you said, where it's like, okay, that you have the tech route, and then you have the more like the moral, like just relaxing route. Or like
relaxing,
the more
I think more
how do you describe that?
more physical, more
human
zoologist,
like,
as the submission submitted.
Yeah, so you understand all the different animals better. And then you know what might be kind of fun too is like the cards are based off of certain they're based off of abilities of other animals. So it's like you're a red fox, but as you develop in the zoology thing, it's like you figure out how to kick shit really well. It's like
you get a cool donkey kick.
Yeah, you get the donkey kick, which is like you can like kick stuff that's behind you. So it's like when you're dining and dashing, you could like kick a tray that's behind you and it'll fly to the table on the other side of the room.
Yes.
But when you're in combat, if somebody comes up behind you, you can then
kick the enemy behind you, and again it will reposition
and it launches them. Yes. We're a little strapped on time, so I think we're just gonna run with that because I think adding
a second one would be too much. I think crypto versus zoologist is a very good.
Yes. But here's the drawback though: is when you pick the crypto route, you do make more money. You have more money to you have more money to invest in the restaurant. But when you go the zoologist
or passive
route,
upgrades like weapons and things for the action missions.
But when you do the zoology route, you get access to more unique cards that you wouldn't have access to otherwise. So it's like. So I mean, what that boils down to is
that is a good push and pull for a game.
Yeah, because crypto affects like weapon gameplay.
I think that the submission was more like cryptocurrency and like the damages of it, and I think we went more on like a tech route. But I think it's the same concept.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing: like, we kind of have to stay malleable with it because not everything. I don't know how to make exact things work sometimes. All right, well, okay, so we're calling it Red Ramen. Well,
Red
fuck
Ramen,
yeah, dude.
that's a game.
I love it. That's a game, dude. You know what would be so fun? I hope the guy who did. Shout out to the guy who did Brightsmith art of like the dad and our little daughter character. I think about that all the time.
Really cute.
Dude, if I could see some fan art of fucking Red Fox and Red, I would die. But no, don't feel obligated. I just think that would be so cute. Let's go to patch notes.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Patch Notes. Blake this week is going to handle our normally scheduled plug. We usually do one of these around this time of the episode. We're on this timestamp. We try to make sure we plug something around here. Got to keep the oils greased. Got to keep the palms slicked up. Got to keep things are moving and grinding and hustling. So, Blake, what's going to be this week's little plug?
You really just drug that out, didn't you? Like, you could have said, "Hey guys, welcome to Patch Notes. We're going to talk about something." Blake,
I believe the term was vamping. I was vamping for you.
You were vamping. I don't know. Vamping, it means like high energy. You were like, yeah, so it's tax season.
You're right.
You got to fill
shit out. Do you mind if I try
to,
should I vamp? Can I try vamping again?
Yeah, try vamping me again. Like
patch notes. This time. Blake's got something to show you.
Take a breath. Take a breath.
Blake, hit us with those plugs.
Fuck, that was rad, actually.
Thanks, I was vamping for you. Could you hit me with the...
you might... Thank you for hyping me up, AJ. No, you might have heard me talk about it at the top of the episode, but I just wanted to remind y'all again, we have a Patreon. If you want to support the show and like what we do and want in on some sweet benefits like video game night, early art, and modifiers, come check us out on Patreon. The link is in the description.
And that will be where we leave it this week. As always, our intro and outro is Cheap Shot by Anna Monoguchi, an excellent song from an excellent band for an excellent game. I've been one of your hosts, AJ Hart.
And I have been your other host, Blake Rhea. Check me out on VTube. I'm now a sexy owl.
This has been Spiritual Successor. He is not a sexy VTuber, and these are cool games.
That should not be made. I said check me out on VTube. VTube doesn't exist.